Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Jono the Eternal Optimist, and this is the very first episode of our Sorors campaign. I would like to introduce Telephone Sound.
Hi.
And Telephone Sounds is going to be playing as Hyacinth Cosmos, right? All right, with that character introduction out of the way, let us begin. So Hyacinth, you wake up in the early hours of the morning. It is a beautiful morning, as it always is in Fairweather. In the distance, you can see the calm waves of the ocean, but it always looks a little surreal, like a painting, almost shimmered and smeared in areas, like an oil painting come to life. And you realize that it's the effects of the FAE circle around Fairweather. While you've been living in Fairweather for a long time, you very rarely have ever actually left the circle itself. It is a dangerous world out there, especially what's happened to your family and everything. So is there anything you'd like to do as you're waking up?
Of course, I'm going to stare out at the sea and kind of think about what I've done in life. Kind of Hyacinth is going to be a bit solemn in this state, because while yes, she's in such a nice home, such beautiful view and all that, she's perplexed.
There's a lot of things happening at the moment.
A lot of thoughts running through her mind, a lot of conflicting, sad emotions.
Hyacinth for a moment thinks about her mother, her mum who left a few years ago, and while your father is still here in Fairweather, the two of you don't really talk anymore.
She sighs and, she goes to get on and get to her duties as being Orion's assistant or contracting.
While you're thinking these thoughts, it's almost as if you spoke of the devil, because you feel a sensation on your antenna. Give me a roll. I would like to have a wit roll.
That would be
plus
20?
2. It'll be a d20 plus 2.
D20.
Yep. Ooh, 17. Very nice.
17?
Yeah, you 15 plus 2 for your wit. You know exactly who it is that's trying to contact you. It's him. It's Orion the Second, that guy.
Get a bit mad, just trying to take a deep breath.
It's okay. This is not the first time he's called you, and it's definitely won't be the last time. As you know, the only thing that you gotta do is just get through the day, and usually he's busy with other things. As long as you just sort out whatever it is that he needs from you, you know that he'll leave you alone for the rest of the day. Ever since he gave you that gift. What was the gift that he gave you?
He gave me, it was a very intricate silver pin. It wasn't very shiny, but yet it had such a beautiful pattern that she decided to take it.
Yes, it was unfortunate because you and your parents had arrived from Wistrel, and you being very young and whatnot, wasn't really aware of how FAE in other circles may behave. And it seems that Orion's family it seems like they almost enjoy politics a little bit too much for a FAE, It's almost as if that human influence had affected their family more than others, which is an absolute shame, because his father, Orion the First, he's renowned within Fairweather itself. He was friends with Queen Titania, the first and last FAE queen. So the disappointment that you have towards his progeny, his son, it's hard to put into words. It's a very complex relationship that you guys have, because he was only a few years older than you when he tricked you into this contract with that pin. So, yeah.
The feelings are conflicting, because especially since his family is so renowned and he used to be such a good family friend, it just feels bad.
Yes, it's an absolute mess. Since, your father and Orion the First, his father, they were the best of friends. So to see his son tricking you into a contract with him, it's almost as if the messiness of Orion's house ended up breaking your family apart, which is a tragedy. But these thoughts, you can't linger on them too long. You know what'll happen if you keep him waiting. So what is it you're going to do?
Is he calling me? Is he calling my name out, or? You
can feel it on your antennas. There's a sort of tingling in the spirits in the air. You know that it's Orion using the contract to sort of reach out towards you. He's summoning you, essentially. He wants you.
She's gonna fly over there.
So you elegantly leap off of your little home, which is inside of a tree. It's almost like the knot of a tree has carved out a perfect little nest. And this is your favorite spot, by the way, because it has just this incredible view of the ocean, despite the oil paint effect from the FAE circle. So you fly towards the center of the circle. So you lose that view of the ocean that you love so much. As you head towards there, you know exactly where he is. The Orion family is at the center of the circle. Orion the First, his father, the father of the Orion that tricked you, he is still alive. He's very old now. He's in his almost 200s. It's hard to tell. He doesn't really talk about it anymore. But I mean, he was there when Queen Titania fell. He is the founding Fae of Fairweather itself. So when Orion the First passes away, that means the Fae circle will come down. And it's a day that everyone knows is inevitable, but is also pretending isn't going to happen either. Because you know the Fae. It's in the moment. You're a very much in the moment type of species. You wanted to say something?
Trying to block it out. I'm trying to block it out, but still, even then, I have to think of where would I go next? And I start thinking of Titiana's realm. I remember thinking about it from all the other Fae who would come by and how much I really wanted to go.
So you're thinking of like one day maybe traveling to Queen's Rest or returning to Wistrel, your home, the circle of your birth.
Yes.
So as these thoughts are entering your mind again, give me a composure roll. 16. You managed to keep your composure because you see a very familiar face looking up at you from the floor in the center of the circle. It is Orion the Second, and he was studying your facial expressions to see whether you were actually heeding his summons or being distracted again. And you managed to hide your expressions perfectly despite your distracted thoughts of Queen's Rest and Wistrel.
So I fly up to him and then I take my position next to him and
Took
bow.
you long enough.
Yes, I'm here.
You can stop bowing now. We have things to do. As he turns and walks away, his back moving at quite a brisk pace.
I follow quickly behind. If I am slow, he will trip me again.
Very wise indeed. And so the two of you enter into what is essentially one of the few houses in the circle, because most of the Fae like to live inside, the natural shapes of the land, so the trees and stones and everything like that. But Orion's family, well, that rumor of being a little too human was only given more credence with the fact that a sort of miniature house was built, almost like a dollhouse from a human perspective, but a sort of mansion was built in the center of the circle. And it is where Orion the First lives. You and Orion the Second are entering into the mansion, okay?
No matter how much I look up at that mansion, it just fills me with dread. All because it was the same place where we made that contract, where he gave me that stupid pin, and now I'm stuck.
Your thoughts remember when your father and mother and you arrived at the first time. You were but a child, and being much younger then, as this was, 50 years ago? The small boy who was only a few years older than you, with his hand held out that pin. It looked so nice, and he seemed so innocent.
And that was the day my life ended.
Well, it's not a life fully ended, I will say that. While you can hear the sounds of the forest outside, when you enter inside, it is busy. There are a lot of other Fae running up and down, but these Fae are not contractually bound as you are, but rather these are volunteers who are happily serving the Orion family because they want to show their appreciation for the circle, for Fairweather itself. So most of the people here, I would say all of the Fae there, are there of their own will. You are the only Fae that you know of who is currently in this hallway who doesn't want to be there.
Part of this makes me upset that they get to be free, they get to have their own volition, and yet I am always summoned, and I can't do anything that I wanted.
Hyacinth, hurry up here.
On my way.
You hear her, Ryan. You strut forward somewhat mockingly since his back is turned.
I'm gonna imitate his posture then as he's looking away, but when he looks back, I'm just gonna be walking my normal way.
Exactly. Yep, you can do that. Okay. So as you're walking, making fun of him, but then like resuming your regular walking pace when he turns around to check on you, you make a couple of the other younger Fae giggle, which actually makes you a bit happy since, well, most of the time the other Fae are laughing at you, not with you. So it makes you smile. It makes you feel a little bit happy that for once, people are giggling not because of your mistake. Hyacinth, hurry up, I said, as he opens the door to what looks like an important room.
Yes, sir. And I enter the room.
He doesn't slam the door, but he closes it with a powerful thud.
I kind of jump. I jump a bit.
He sort of looks at you, and you can see that he's frustrated and he's a bit confused. He starts pacing up and down in the room, but he doesn't say anything,
which confuses me and also quite terrifies me because he's never like this. He's always known what to do. He's always known what to say at exactly the right moment. So to see him so complacent, so worried, makes me worried.
So as you stand there waiting for his next order, you can hear him starting to mutter to himself, but it's hard to make out what he's saying. Would you like to try and listen closer, or do you want to just pretend that you're not there?
I will listen closer.
Okay, give me a roll then. We're gonna have to give
nat 20.
a nat 20. Well, we don't even have to worry about what you're going to add to it because you hear every single word that he mutters under his breath. I can't believe that old man. What was he thinking? Why would he pick him over me? This is unacceptable after everything I have done. Is it because of Hyacinth? No, it can't be. He's never scolded me about this before. No. This runs much deeper. I know my brother has been whispering things in his ears whenever I haven't been at home. That's what I get for taking care of the circle while he's always here, just because the old man is on his deathbed in the... What am I thinking? No.
I slightly flinch when he mentions my name, but I try to keep my composure to make sure that he doesn't notice me moving or flinch or fidget, at least as I'm scared, since I know what he's saying.
So what can I do? My options. What are my options? Okay, I have you. Yeah, for the first time, he decides to actually become aware of you again, and he points his finger straight at you. He says, I have you.
Which makes my wings droop a bit out of fear. What about me, sir?
She won't be enough. As he turns his back towards you and looks out the window again.
Kind of just be like, kind of raise my arms in defeat. Weren't you gonna talk to me? Whatever.
He's very still. He's now in deep thought. You can imagine that he's strategizing and coming up with scenarios, picturing himself maybe talking to his brother or to his father. You're not quite sure, but your gut feeling is that keeping quiet is the best move right now.
I just roll my eyes and just think to myself, I'd rather be participating with other people and talking to them rather, or at least doing what I want to do, drawing or singing. But here I am, having to listen to a man mutter to himself.
He eventually moves away from the window, as you can see that his thoughts are running in circles. You can actually see almost like a vein on his forehead, sort of bulging from like stress. And when he looks at you again, you get a bit of a shudder. It's
I
that
take
look.
a step back. It's that look, and I kind of take a bit of a step back out of instinct.
Yeah, the look that he gives you is the one that you know is whenever he gives you a job that you're going to absolutely hate.
And I sigh. Well, no, I sigh to myself. Not I'm still standing still, but I kind of just mentally sigh.
A small smirk appears on his face as he sort of not purrs, but comes very close to it, where he just goes, Hyacinth, I have something you need to do for me.
Whatever it is, I have to do it anyway.
Exactly. As he opens the door, follow me.
I eye the door for a second before following.
This time he's now walking with much more confidence. You can see the sort of frustration and anger has started to melt away as he's come up with something. He has some kind of plan, and the look that he gave you knows that it's not going to be something you are going to enjoy. But anyway, the two of you continue through, but now you start heading to a part of the mansion you've never been to, as it takes a few keys that he has on his belt in order to unlock these doors. And it sort of starts leading down towards a basement of sorts.
To the basement, at the entrance of the basement, I hesitate for a bit.
Yes, you've never been down here before.
And I'm wondering if I should even be down there.
And given the state of... Actually, you know what? Give me another roll. We're going to make it a wit roll.
A wit roll?
Yes.
A 16.
+2, nice. Okay, you notice that the sheer levels of dust in the air and on the stairs and everything reveals that not even the cleaning staff are allowed in here. So you know that this is somewhat of a forbidden part of the house. It makes you wonder even whether Orion the Second is supposed to have these keys. But so you have to go down because you're almost losing sight of him. And the last thing you want to do is lose sight of Orion after he's given you an order.
Take very tentative steps down the stairs.
And so the wooden panels creak a little bit with every step, but it does make you feel uneasy because you've always wanted to get out of this house as soon as possible, let alone go underground.
And I start to think, is he gonna kill me down here?
Those are very real thoughts that go through your mind. But no, as you go through, you see Orion has lit a small lamp at the bottom with a tiny little flame, just the smallest of little flame. Hey, give me a resolve roll.
Oh no, I was kidding. Okay. Oh, okay.
Your resolve holds. You are not drawn to the flame because you are a moth. That's it. He holds it forward, and when you gain sight of his expression in the way that the light from the flame is illuminating his face, you can see that there's trepidation, which is very rare for him. To see Orion the Second without his normal beaming confidence or sort of sadistic smile as well, To see him nervous is, well, this is a first.
My lord, is this really acceptable? Should we even be in this room?
There's no other way. Now come, Hyacinth. As he starts to like give himself confidence by continuing to walk again now.
But sir, I don't think we really should be in here. Maybe we should get out of here. Whatever it is, you can figure out a different way.
No, there is no other way. This is the only way I can stall my brother. As he opens the door, the final door with the last key on the chain, and inside is a long, thin box. His hand reaches forward to open it, but he hesitates before deciding to commit to it, and he opens up the box.
Which makes me kind of step away. Since he hesitated, that means something bad is in there.
It opens flawlessly, like it's been well maintained with the most incredible oils in the hinges. Not a single sound. The box opens with a fluidity you didn't even think was possible from hinges. It just glides open with the force of his hand. Even from where you're standing, you can see a deep maroon red velvet that lines both the ceiling and the bottom of the box. Whatever is inside this box is clearly of high value.
I'm hiding behind the door, but it makes me peek out to see what it is. Peek a little bit closer.
Hyacinth, come in here and close that behind you.
I rush in and close the door.
Okay, you hear a sigh.
I may have stumbled in.
He lifts up whatever it is inside the box. Orion turns towards you, and in his hand is the most beautiful needle you have ever seen. Its shine of white gold, the size of a needle to the large folk, but to the Fae, this is about the size of a sword.
I stare at it in awe, but still in fear.
Even in the dim light of the lamp that Orion had lit, you can see the glimmering and shine from it. This is more than just a well-polished metal. There is something magical about it. There's a thrum that comes from the metal itself.
My lord, should you be holding that?
No, of course I'm not supposed to be holding this, as he places it in your hands. But you, on the other hand, are also not supposed to be holding it.
Is this where you blame me for a murder?
I'll admit I had thought of that when we were upstairs earlier, but no, I have a much better use for you. You know what? Hyacinth, you and I, we've worked together for many years now.
Contractually.
Yes, but we have worked together for many years now, and it goes to say that our working relationship has had its ups and downs.
Mostly downs.
Fine, mostly downs, but for the most part, I trust in the contract that we have. You are going to take this, and you're going to hide it.
Hide it?
Well, you see, my brother has been scheming behind my back, and any day now, Orion is going to pop off, and the current state of things, my brother is going to inherit this circle, and the last thing I want is for my brother to wield our family heirloom, because that'll be proof of his inheritance. You are going to hide this while I buy time. To buy time while I try to figure out how to put an end to this.
Hide it?
I don't know, bury it somewhere, put it in the top of the tallest trees, throw it in the ocean. I don't care. As long as you know where it is so you can get it when I ask you to.
Then a light bulb moment.
Yes, I don't care where. If the longer we stay down here, the more likely we are both going to get into trouble. And as much as I can get away with things, I don't want to lose my most useful servant. So are you going to get out of here or not?
She takes a step back, takes one last look at him, and then runs off.
I need you to give me a dexterity roll.
Oh, she gonna trip.
Yeah.
8.
Okay, you start, you trip, but you don't actually like stab yourself with the needle. But the sheer like panic, because you have not seen Orion the Second like this at all. He's not deranged, but it feels as if, you know, he could like turn deranged just from the amount of like adrenaline and like the emotions that he was going through. You could also feel it in the air, that there was a sort of electricity in the air, if that makes sense, which as you know,
electricity I didn't want to be near.
Exactly. So you stumble your way out of the cellar, still clutching onto this family heirloom of his, this white gold needle. And then a sudden thought comes to you. It's like, how are you going to get out when there's so many Fae still like busying themselves in the hallway?
1 second. I'm gonna try to hide it in my shirt, or not in my in my outfit. You know, because I'm wearing a dress. I'm going to try to put it on my back. Yes,
I know what you mean. You tried to thread it. Wait, how long is your character's hair as well, by the way?
Actually, it's pretty long, so she could just take off her hair tie and also like hide it behind her hair.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, genius. Hyacinth lets down her hair, and threads the needle through your clothes, which will make a small hole, unfortunately, but you'll be able to hide it just enough. As you are walking through, trying not to draw attention to yourself, give me a composure roll.
Composure roll.
Yes.
Let's go. 10. 3. What?
+2, so that's 5. The best way I can describe this is, you know, when your character has that really nervous smile on their face and their eyes are like looking around being like, please don't look at me. Please don't look at me. That's basically the expression your character has right now. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. As you're...
I'm not holding anything.
Exactly.
It's in case that we're wondering.
Exactly. So you're sort of shuffling very awkwardly through the hall when you see another face, and in this case, it's a face that you really don't want to see. It is Razlo, Orion's younger brother, the one who has been, in Orion's mind, scheming with his father. He waves down at you happily from the top of the stairs leading up to the bedroom area. He calls out to you, Hyacinth! As he starts running down the stairs. What are you doing? What's going through your mind?
Trying to think of an excuse to try to run away. I'm facing towards him so that he can't see my back, which I'm trying to think of. Okay, maybe I can make him think that Orion doesn't want me to talk to him, or maybe I can make him think something else. Maybe
Hyacinth, how have you been? Sorry, it's too late now. Your thought has been running through your mind. You didn't even realize that he's made it to the bottom of the stair.
I've been good. Wow, today is such a great day, and I kind of want to go outside.
I like your hair like that. You know what? That's a good look on you. Orion, I bet my stupid brother ordered you to tie your hair up before. This looks so much better on you.
Thank you. And you know what? You're looking great too. Do you know who?
Yes.
Do you know who would love to see you right now?
Who? You feel a hand land on your shoulder, and it clenches tightly, almost as if it is a warning, and you feel a slight pain in your shoulder. You know whose hand it is.
The chef really, really wanted to see you to taste one of their newest dishes.
Brother. You hear Orion, who's holding your shoulder from the back. He looks over at his younger brother, Razlo, and he repeats it once again. Brother, what are you doing talking to my servant? She is not your servant. You and I both know that old pin you gave her should have worn off long ago. Have you been tricking her or ordering her every single week for how many years now, brother? None of your business, Razlo, as is talking to her.
You know, it is my pleasure to be serving Lord Orion.
See, no issues whatsoever. He looks at him. For the first time, you see Razlo's face actually contort into a frown, and you realize that this is one of the few times where his politician's mask has slipped. Razlo has never actually been mean towards you. In a way, you felt like he may have been sympathetic towards your plight, but at the same time, he's always kept you at a safe distance, given that you are bound to his brother. Razlo frowns when he hears these words coming from your mouth, because he can sense the lack of genuineness to them.
Please do not worry about me. I am quite fine.
Give me a charisma. No, give me a manipulation check.
Gonna go roll.
15.
That's a 14. That's a 14.
Yeah, +1 for your manipulation, so 15. For the briefest of moments, you see Razlo's eyes soften, but you can't read much more into that, but he decides to give up on fighting his brother over this. And he looks at Orion and he just like, yes, we are all very busy, aren't we? Come, brother, we need to talk to father. There are a lot of things we need to sort out. He still hasn't revealed to us where every single stone of the circle is, so maybe the two of us together can squeeze those answers out of him. What do you say? You look up at Orion and his grip on your shoulder loosens, and he looks at her and he says, I expect you to follow through with everything. And then he walks with Razlo back up the stairs. For the briefest of moments, you see Razlo sort of look back towards you, but then Orion throws his arm over his shoulder and they become siblings once again as they sort of roughhouse with each other back up the stairs. You feel the tension leave your body from this, right up until the moment you hear one of the other worker Fae asking you a question. Hyacinth, what are you doing here?
Oh, doing business for Orion as usual.
It's such an honor, isn't it? Anyway, I got a lot to do. I need to go bake a cake, okay? Okay, see you later then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She runs off towards the kitchen.
And from there, I run away. I
go
fly
for
away.
it. Okay, I'll let you escape now. You bust out the front door.
She's like dying over there. Give her a break. So then I fly on home, trying to find any thicket that doesn't seem to have any light towards it, any shadows that I can hide under when people when there are other Fae passing by. Does I have to count for a roll?
Oh, yes. You will have to give me a intelligence roll, a -1. 10. Okay, so you, in a mild panic, fly all around the circle looking for a good hiding spot. But everywhere you look, there are either other Fae or what potential hiding spots there are would most likely be found by someone else. And the last thing you want to do is end up giving this needle away to someone else, because you know that how it works in Fae culture, where ownership is very much whatever it is you're carrying on your person. The Orion's family are one of the few who sort of practice the like more human aspect of like long-term possession. So the fact that he mentioned that this was a family heirloom means it's not something that you can just hide anywhere. It has to be somewhere where no one else would think, especially like the Orions. So Raslo, Orion, and the rest of the family. So you're racking your brains trying to think of somewhere to hide this, but you feel a familiar signal on your antenna once again. It's Orion.
What could he want from me this time? He told me to hide this thing.
You sense the tug once again. He's calling you another time.
I hesitate for a moment before looking down at the needle and then realizing he said to hide it anywhere, right? Anywhere, even outside the circle.
Yes, that is an option.
She ponders for a moment before taking off.
Outside the circle.
Like the circle.
You cannot remember the last time you left the circle, but as you reach the edge of it, you can see very clearly that there are some unnaturally shaped stones that carry the mark of Orion the First. You're at the very border of the Fae circle itself. And if you remember what Raslo was saying before, that there are more stones, that some of them are hidden in less obvious ways, but this is one of the few parts where you know it is safe to push through the barrier. It is facing towards Pearlstrand, the Thrope farming village in the far, far distance. But as you reach out towards it, a moment's hesitation runs through your body. Should you do this?
Should I do this?
Should you do this?
Take a look back and feel the tugging on my antenna again. Yes, I really should do this. I'm so tired of all this. I'm leaving.
Okay.
And I thrust myself out.
As you push your hand against it, you feel a tingling sensation that gives your whole body goosebumps as you're pushing through this sort of membrane, like this almost like oily, shimmery membrane that from a distance looks clear, but when you're closer to it, it becomes that oily like vision. With a plop, you've plopped out on the other side.
Kind of look back and be like, was that easy, huh?
Yep. I mean, you got goosebumps from head to toe and all the hairs on your body are standing on end, but you'll never get used to that. You also notice that it's the middle of the night. It was like early morning inside the Fae circle, but outside here, it's complete nighttime, which is perfect for someone who's wanting to run away.
Take out the needle and look at it again, and then from my backpack, I take out a ribbon, tie it around my waist, and tie it around the needle itself, and then I take off flying. Where? Not sure, but I just know I need to get away from the circle.
Instinct roll.
8. Oh no.
Okay, so as you're flying, your character is caught by a strong gust of wind. The wind itself doesn't feel natural, and I'll give you that because you got 8 out of the 20, so you're not completely but there's a very, very powerful tugging on your antenna, and it's not something you've ever felt from Orion's call.
I kind of hold my antenna.
Yes, you hold them in your hands, which seems to sort of numb the sort of the signal of it. It sort of causes the signal to get a little bit more scrambled, but you can feel his wrath. He knew the moment you stepped outside of that circle, he realized that you had escaped him, and he'd slipped up in his wording. The winds around you start to whip up into a storm.
From there, I try to find a tree, anything that could cover me, anything that I can hide in.
No, it's too late. The winds have caught you. You're sailing high. You're going way, way up into the sky, higher than you've ever flown in your life.
Is this where I die?
It might be. You can feel the storm that has been summoned by Orion's pure wrath. As you know, the Fae are extremely potent with their emotions and their ability to manipulate magic. In the distance, you can even hear the sound of a church from the Pearlstrand Thrope town they are even sounding a warning bells of the sort of unexpected storm that has arrived. No doubt.
I take a deep breath and I try to control the storm back. Or at least I try to ride the wind, trying to make my own gust of wind to get me.
You can try. Give me a d20 and I'll add in some factors to consider here. So you're going to be using your sort of serenade spell. 10. This is something that you've read because life inside Fairweather, you've never really needed to control the weather since the Orion's family usually take care of all of the eternal spring inside there. So you do give a pretty good effort, you would say, for your first time seriously trying this with all of your will and might. Basically, instead of the winds pushing you back down towards the circle, towards Fairweather, your attempts at controlling it ends up pushing you even higher. But thankfully, it pushes you above the lightning that is raging now below you, dark clouds. It's becoming difficult to tell the difference between your storm, Orion's storm. Poor wings are beating with all of their strength, but you're being carried out by this air current up above. Can you give me a stamina roll?
Stamina roll? Oh.
Your wing, you flutter in a desperate panic as you try to fight against the winds, but these forces of nature is not something a small butterfly moth could ever fight against. So what you end up doing is, in order to keep yourself from completely exhausting yourself out, is that you decide to drift on the winds. You have no idea where they're taking you. The cloud cover has blocked all of your vision below. You can only hope that it's not out towards the sea.
I take out the needle, remembering the thrum of magic, and I kind of just say, please, whatever it is that you do, just do it. I don't know, just help me, save me.
You wait for a minute, but there's no response from the needle. You're now drifting on the high currents. This is the highest you've ever been in your life. A part of you is excited because this is a freedom you never felt like you deserved after how many decades being trapped under the thumb of Orion. To have tricked him in return, to have fought back with your own storm, to have escaped his wrath, and finally broken free of that terrible, terrible town that you wish your parents had never brought you to. Free. The sounds of the church in the distance start to become quieter and quieter as you feel like you're being pulled away from Pearlstrand.
Wait, I remember this in flying school. I should be able to find a landing point. Maybe I could control the wind to let me down.
Give me a strength roll.
Strength roll? 18.
-3 puts you at 50. Very good effort though. Very good roll. So I'll allow this. You will start to get a feel for the way that the wind is pushing against you. And again, for being so high up for the first time in your life, riding winds that you've never ridden before, you're doing a pretty amazing job. And so what ends up happening is that a realization dawns upon you. These winds are not going to end anytime soon. You're just going to have to ride them out. And what ends up happening is you ride these winds throughout the entire evening. And when the sun finally rises up the next morning, when you finally break past the cloud, the storm has ended, the clouds are fading, but everywhere you look is the sea.
This is how I die, isn't it? Just like my uncle.
Maybe. Give me a perception roll. I'll add your wit because you're a witty character.
Witty.
Very nice roll indeed. And that actually saves your life. See, you're rolling high where it counts. You're rolling high where it matters most.
I don't want her to die.
You look all around you. The clouds, the winds, they've started to relax a bit. So you're drifting slowly, just drifting, trying to save your energy because it's been a long night. But as you're drifting down, your incredible vision and luck manages to spot something that you've only ever seen a few times from the view back at your home in Fairweather, a boat. But unlike any vessel you've ever seen before, the design of it is very different to the ones that have visited Pearlstrand. And unfortunately, it is the only place you can see yourself landing without ending up in the ocean.
I have to take my shot. I start trying to make myself land, at least drift towards the ship.
And that's where we're gonna call it for today. What did you think? How was it?
Oh, that was fun.
It's so much fun. I love this. The next episode should be right here. Thanks for watching.